Dorman, what did I do to you? What did I do? What did I do, man? This is now I want to spend my Saturday having to go back over a job that I just did like a week ago. But man, this is not a good look on the part company I typically deal with, which is O'Reilly's Auto Parts. We have a bittersweet relationship. And when I mean bittersweet, this is that bittersweet. Because a lot of times when I get these issues with these quality control problems, because even though it may have passed, this part that's currently on there took a shit. I'm not down with it, don't like it. A lot of times I don't even file labor claims, just go through it, get it out the way, depending on how extensive it is, being that this job is less than an hour. I wouldn't even record this, honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I just wanted to probably give somebody some insight on this repair, maybe some close-up views, and that's about it. But yeah, I'm not even gonna file a labor claim. I'm just gonna go ahead and go through the process of repairing this and just document it. What happened, again, 7 days, this part within that time frame, it came in for oil leak. And what was happening, it was leaking right at the rubber part originally, but when I got that fixed, this aftermarket one, not this particular, this one in the package, not this one, but the one that's currently on there, started leaking right around the compression fittings. I got a video of that, and it doesn't. I thought it was the gasket at first, so I just replaced it. I didn't bother to look behind there because I just didn't think that that was gonna be the case. Replaced the gasket, still leak. That's what it was. So we're in the complaining phases now of just having to prepare myself to replace this because again, I didn't want to spend my Saturday doing this. It's not that bad. Firstly, I'm going to wind up disconnecting the lines here at the top, remove this and get these clips out. And usually what I'll do, since I got plenty of space, just go ahead and pull the whole clip out. Right, and once I get that heat shield, the cover down at the bottom out, the undercarriage cover, then I'll have access to get that one bolt right there on the front by the harmonic balancer. Get that's like a 13, get that out, and then all I gotta do is get some 10mm bolts out on the side by the oil filter housing, and then just pull it out. It's very simple. Let me get this camera set up in some good angles, and we'll start pulling it down, because I think, yep, it's been about 3 minutes, and I think I've been talking enough. Because trust me, if I could, I'm going to keep on complaining about this and never get anything done. So in my case here, this is like a 15. This should be a 15mm. Another 15. And then we got some 10mm here. 10 here. That's 10 right there. 10 right there. Now I'll be able to remove this whole cover. All this is going to come down. Here's the oil cooler line right by the harmonic balancer. There's a 13mm right there. Simply pull that out, and this is the only retaining bolt. This was a nut, the only retaining nut here holding this in. Once I separate this, I'll be able to now get those 10mm bolts right by the oil filter. That'll be disconnected. And then I'll be able to get this bracket that's up here by the radiator, and then I can remove the quick connect lines. I do have a pail under here that's going to capture all this oil that's going to come out. It's going to be quite a bit. I had let this sit for a while, and it's still going to be quite a bit come out. Yeah, see that right there. gonna let it drain. I have the factory gasket on here. I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna use this because there's a big difference with the factory gasket versus the dorman. I just feel as though it's gonna work a lot better, but logically it should once you see what I'm referring to. Now this is, now that the line is free and that bolt is out, you can take it out and move it around like you want to. So I'm just gonna let this hang, let this drain like so, and then we can work on getting the lines out from the radiator so it won't make as much of a mess, because we're gonna have to clean stuff regardless. But this right here will ensure that the lines are depleted of oil when we remove them from the radiator. Here are oil cooler lines going to the driver's side of the radiator. And we could take a flathead, pry up and move it, but it seemed like I can just push it off to the side and take it out that way. Pull those lines out, and all we gotta do is get the ones at the radiator. So here we are at the quick disconnect. So usually you'll see it with the cover on it to prevent the clip from coming out. You just pretty much remove that. Here's our retainer. You can probably get something in there. It's like slide something in there and hold it, but I don't have nothing like that in my possession that'll work. And I just found it favorable just to simply just remove the clips. If you find the protruding areas like here in the back, now at the bottom, you can grab that and just pull it back. If I can get it to come back out, show yourself, just like that, and pull it back. I just like to take it's easy to lose these, but I just prefer to take the whole thing out. It's just easier to deal with. And once I get it out, I just pull the line out, and that's it. Well, logically, that's not supposed to happen, but can't help but to make a little mess. This is what brake cleaner's for. I'm gonna do the same thing with the bottom one, and then yeah, you can hear more draining out. So do the same thing with the bottom one, then we'll be able to remove the whole line. Making a mess. It is what it is. And I'm gonna take that. There you go. I made a mess. This wouldn't have been so bad of making a mess if I was not recording, but this is where it was leaking down around that way. I'm gonna put everything in reverse order. I'm not gonna document that. Let me show you the OEM gasket versus the aftermarket one. Here we go. I want to show you the difference. I want to show you the difference between the aftermarket gasket and the OEM. So here's the aftermarket one. If you look behind where the inlet and outlet is. You can see quite a bit of metal of the flange, but let's put the OEM one on there, and it does cover up a little bit more. So I mean, this one isn't worn out as bad. Don't get me wrong, this will work just fine. This will work just fine because it wasn't the original problem as I suspected. But I mean, honestly, I can just put this back on there and call it a day, and that's something I might consider. But the thing is, the aftermarket one is overall a bit thinner. Aftermarket one's in the front, OEM's in the back, and it is a little thinner. You can tell the difference in thickness. So I do feel as though it's worth using the original one. But the thing is, the rubber is what helps with the seal, which gives it its seal. So we do have more protrusion with the aftermarket one than the OEM with that rubber. So I think I'll just go with this one, because the metal is not what seals it, it's the rubber anyway. So once I saw that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go with the aftermarket one. It'll be all right. Let me get this on in reverse order, then we'll check our work, and I can get my money back for this. We are done, we are done, we're done. Here's our inlet and outlet line. Looks dry. Dry at the bottom. I do need to hit it again with a little brake cleaner, but that's fine. Those are fine. The main one that was leaking before, right there, that's fine. So the big telltale was when I accelerated, gave it gas, hold about 15 to 2,000 RPM. Let me do that and see how it works. All right, so that was it. I verified my repair. I did check the oil. The oil's still pretty full, strangely. They must have overfilled it when they did the engine originally, unless I did put more oil in there, because I had to do some other repairs to this, such as the manifold. I had to replace the motor mount, and I extracted the stud and fixed that in the back. So I think I topped the oil off then, I can't remember. Or the last time I did this job. I work on so much stuff. So I verified the repair, everything's fine, no more leaks. Hopefully, at least dorman, you know, this thing can last 15,000 miles. That's all I asked for. Enough to kind of take my name and reputation out the mix, you know, and just say, hey, it's just, you know, things fail. But no, this 7 days later and the failed repair, it's gonna come back to me. And again, I'm not filing labor claim. I'm not mad at the parts store people. I'm just disappointed because honestly, if I want something done right, well, hell, I gotta do it myself. And that's not where I'm in business at. But when they put QC, quality control pass, and I'm getting shit, it make you wonder about that quality control. And I'm not the only one that has had dorman issues. Dorman has been successful fixes for some things, such as the Pentastar. If I recall, the water pumps don't hold me on that, but I think they have a plastic water pump from the factory from Chrysler, but the aftermarket one is metal from Dorman. Don't hold me on that. But definitely the oil filter housings, oil coolers for those Pentastars. I mean, they have made some updated fixes. And the unfortunate byproduct of me spending a lot of money with these part stores is having comebacks. That's what labor claims are for. Again, I'm not filing one. It's just maybe, you know, the reputation I got. I'll take a can of brake cleaner, to be honest with you, and we'll call it even, because I go through so much of brake cleaner, it's ridiculous. But hey, it's fixed. It took less than an hour. Hopefully I got some good close-up footage. We use some basic stuff, a pick, 10 millimeter, 15 millimeter, and that was pretty much it. And you need a pan to drain the fluid and capture it. If anything happened, if it has to come back, I'm doing a YouTube short. I am not doing a whole video on this crap. This is just BS. I shouldn't have had this happen. If it come back, I'll definitely update. Hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed how to original some word. See you next one.